Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I'm just sitting here in my robe drinking my morning coffee looking sexy as hell as usual. And for those of you who say I don't look sexy as hell when I do these videos in my robe, nobody cares what you think. I didn't ask you shit. Now, I've been reading through all the different feeds and links and stuff I get all the time on my private Facebook, and one of the things that's circulating in the headlines, a study that has come out in Australia, and again, this is epidemiological studies, which have the lowest weight of evidence in nutritional science, was showing negative effects or negative associations with a vegetarian diet in the populace of Australia. Now, we had just last month, we had this one coming out talking about meat causing cancer. And I, as a vegetarian, mostly vegan, and actually these days I'm pretty well vegan at this point, I pointed out that, while I might have a personal bias towards that, I felt the study wasn't conclusive. It wasn't properly done. You couldn't draw the conclusions that people were trying to draw from it, and that there were other very likely factors involved with the cancer than the actual direct meat eating that needed to be considered. And it's interesting that so many people blew that off, yet when this other one comes out, the less popular view of vegetarianism, people are quick to jump on the boat. And I think the same sort of thing needs to be done here. This is epidemiological studies, and what's interesting is that the same populace, they said that people who are vegetarians are less likely to smoke, they drink less, they tend to have less body fat, and they tend to exercise more than the rest of the populace, but they have certain diseases, like they were showing cancers, heart disease, mental disorders, things like that, in a higher rate in needing more medical treatment demographically. And then people are saying, aha, well, there's proof, because all those other factors are things that are associated with reducing these things. So why is this? And guys, it should be pretty obvious. It's not the vegetarianism that's causing it. There's no reason to think that. This is correlational data. Might I make a couple of suggestions to you? One thing, a lot of people, tons of people, I would say probably 50% of people who go on vegetarian diets, because the other half do it for ethical reasons, have some sort of medical condition, a major medical condition already, and they try to use a vegetarian diet to cure it. Particularly, you see this with heart patients, it's very common. So therefore, the vegetarian population might have a higher incident of heart disease, but not because they're vegetarian, but because people with heart disease oftentimes become vegetarians. Same thing with cancers. Many people who have cancer already become vegetarians to try to help with it. I'm not saying it's going to help with it, but it's something that they do. And therefore that will skew the statistics. So that's a massive factor that a lot of people aren't considering. The other thing is that they found another thing, and if you've been around a lot of vegetarians, there's a lot of hippies. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists. There's a lot of people like that involved in vegetarianism, a very high percentage. Is that they pointed out that they tend to have less medically healthy lives. There was a strong tendency and much, much higher correlation between vegetarianism and reduced use of vaccinations, reduced use of preventative medicine. And it's because very oftentimes in both hippie and conspiracy theory circles, there's a fear of modern medicine that it's there to kill us, not to help us. Well, the reality is modern medicine is what has brought us from living an average lifespan of 35 years to living an average lifespan of like 80 years. It's over doubled our life expectancy as an individual of the species. And if you were to completely avoid all medical care from birth, that populace would very possibly drop their life expectancy back down. So realistically, if you want to find another big culprit, that was directly noted in the study, a much, much lower rate of those things. But it was looked at as a very side thing near the end. Well, that's a pretty big factor. And I'm sorry, but anyone here who talks about, well, no, you're wrong on the vaccines, no, you're wrong. You need to do some basic research and not listen to every kook and quacky theory that comes out, and actually look at the data yourself. And don't be a fucking sheep. Vaccines improve your lifespan. per capita. It's not even subject to debate, and they don't carry the dangers that people associate with them. A lot of this is quackery. The statistics don't even reflect it when you look at it. They are not created by people who want to do you harm. Even if there is a vast conspiracy around the world, I can assure you every doctor and scientist out there is not part of it. Every immunologist is not out there trying to give your children autism or kill you off. Most of them are good people who actually want to help you, and they actually know what the hell they're doing to some extent. So you see things like that, and I think those are your big culprits that explain this. So again, guys, when you start looking at correlational data, you can't just run with it and draw conclusions without multivariate analysis. And no multivariate analysis was properly done on this or the one with meat causing cancer. And when you don't have those things, you can't start drawing conclusions. All correlational data does is give you the data that you need to start looking in a direction to conduct research, to try to find answers. It doesn't provide answers itself that you can draw major conclusions from. So hopefully that clarified a lot of that. All right, guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.